Welcome to the Each One, Reach One podcast, built on the belief that change begins with just one. We celebrate purpose, resilience, and the ripple that one life can create.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Each One, Reach One. Like we always tell you, we invite guests who share stories that inspire, how they have been just one to other people, and how they have seen the impact of just one person saying yes. Today, in our show, we have a very important guest. He has a lot. I don't think our time even will be enough to really let him cover what he has to say. And without wasting any more time, I want to welcome Humphrey Malimbe to the show. Welcome, Humphrey. Tell us who you are.
As you've heard, I am Humphrey Malimbe. I'm a social worker by profession. Most importantly, I'm a born again believer. Believe in Jesus as my Lord and Savior. Yeah, and I work with Mato Ministries. I've been working there for since they started, or since we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So good. Well, now, I believe in the beginning you started as a social worker. And now, after so many years, now you're helping lead the children's home. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to step into this role.
First and foremost, I wanted to do a ministry. I was going to do pastoral work, and then later there's an opportunity that came up. I heard there's a social work school in Nairobi, Kenya Institute of Social Work, and I decided to go there. So I went there for 3 years, and then after finishing college, I got a job in Nairobi. I even went for orientation, but I didn't have peace. I went for orientation. These guys loved me. After that was in 2007, around November, and I decided I'm not beating it, and I felt I should go back to Kigali. So I came back, went to Challenge Farm. I went there for internship. After 3 months, I told them I'm done, and they told me, "Oh, we like your work. We'll love you to continue as a volunteer, though we can't employ you." So I later, after two months, Bud and Kimberly came, and they shared with me what they want to do, and I felt this is the deal, and I just felt good about it. They were going to pay me because we were doing 2 days in a week, and they were going to give me 900 in that because they didn't have money at that time. But I felt the vision was good. It went well with my heart. My heart was at peace with it, and I decided to jump in. I felt, let me go join them, raise this army that they want to raise. Yeah.
Wow. Humphrey, I love how you say it. Sometimes opportunities might present themselves and well packaged and look beautiful, but then it's just beautiful when we have the Holy Spirit, like it just tells you like, you know what, there's something for you, so just that decision led you to coming and then now meeting Bud and Kim. Wow, that's really beautiful. So looking back, what are some of the important lessons you have learned from working with vulnerable children and families?
The most important lesson I've ever had, and it really changed the way I see life, is the dignity you're supposed to give every human being you meet, whether it's a day-old kid, a 70-year-old kid. We have a day-old kid a child who is going to be an engineer. If you don't put value on that child, seeing him in a box thrown away, if you don't give them the dignity they deserve, they might end up not being engineers. And again, there's a grandmother. If you don't honor that person, because that grandmother might protect grandchild who's supposed to be an engineer. So that is now the most important lesson I've ever had, and it has carried me all through life, honoring every human being. And number two, anybody can become anything. Never underestimate anyone. Yeah, anyone can become anything, and that's a lesson. And again, just as the African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. When a child is cared for by many, that child can become anything. Yeah.
That is so good. And just because you're saying this, I'm just thinking and even reflecting, like, I think we'll get to that. I know we're gonna. If we don't get to that, I'm gonna make sure I come to that because I know a lot about some of the stories you've told me about life and Nato. But so before that, the theme of Each One Rich One is about the power of one person making a difference. How do you see that principle lived out in the children's home every single day, and even those who have been part of the children's home and then going out?
There's a lot on that, especially because it takes one person to forego their comfort to reach out. And I think that's the most important part in it. Foregoing your comfort to go help. Like, let's say for our situation, Mato Ministries or Mato Children's Village, there's Bud and Kimberly who forgo the comfort in the US. Living in Africa, for someone who was born and raised in the US, is not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to walk around muddy roads, bushes and all that. Clearing up things, and white people fear malaria. Yeah, they fear malaria. And choosing to come live with mosquitoes, anopheles. Yeah, it's tough. So it takes, for you to make a change or a difference in someone's life, you need to sacrifice. Yeah, you need to sacrifice. You sacrifice your personal ambitions, goals. Yeah, so we also have volunteers who've come, like in a jailer. There was one called Holly, Morgan, Olivia. These were young people who sacrificed their youthful life to come and be with us and make a difference. And there's also you and Sambo. There are things that you will never tell. Maybe heaven will really reveal to us. But it takes sacrifice for you to make a difference. And then there's also parents in Matro. Yeah, parents, the caretakers, who've really sown seeds of greatness in those kids. They sacrificed their lives. We also have the subordinates, the aunties, the Kinesau, the farm workers. These are people, because living with kids with trauma, They can also traumatize you in some way at times. So yeah, it takes each one person to make a difference in one's life.
Wow, that's so good. Now, this is where I think I was trying to jump ahead.
Okay.
Can you share a story of a child, family, volunteer, or supporter whose involvement demonstrates how one person can truly, change a life?
Mm. There's this one kid. I don't remember the name, but one day I will look for the name. Kimberly came and told us what had happened. But a Sunday school kid in the US decided that his birthday, people should give towards his birthday, and everything that was raised was given to Mato. And at that time, we were struggling financially. So the money made a big, a huge difference. And that's the power of one person making a difference. And I will also say there's this boy, Fred Juma. Fred Juma came to Mato. He was 11 years. He hadn't camped here. He didn't care a lot. And then he came, but the mother had just passed on. And the mother had George. The mother had left George at 5 months. Then we had Nilima there. And then we had Grace. So Juma comes, and Juma is 11. He had never gone to school. And he told me, uncle, we've moved around for, I don't know, over 20 times from house to house, town to village to village. Our parents were looking for work to do. And Juma comes, we didn't take him to elementary classes, that is ECD. We took him to class 1. Surprisingly, he tops the class at the end of the year. And then the teacher decides, let him skip class 2, let him go to class 3. And he skips class 3 to class 3, and he tops the class again.
Wow.
Yeah. And today, Juma will be graduating this year with as an electrical engineer.
Wow.
Nelima is doing nursing. Grace is doing half KCSE this year. And then George is very gifted, a gifted musician. We just wait for his time for him to blow up.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the difference one can make.
Man, like when we try and connect those stories,
Yeah.
like if Baden Kim had not hit to the call,
Mm-hmm.
if Humphrey had taken the job in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And then, all these, you'd ask yourself, where would Juma be
Yeah.
where would
tell you.
George be,
Yeah.
the power of just one person making that decision. I think it can really influence.
It's true.
Yeah. So as the new leader of Mato, what's your vision for the future and the children of the ministry? It could still be the same vision, but what are you anticipating for the future for these kids?
As I lead the team, our vision is to raise future leaders or kingdom leaders. As the kids grow, we always pray and ask that God will help them stick to the vision. Because when Bud and Kimberly met me at first, they told me we want to raise servant leaders for Kenya and Africa. And I feel in my heart, we're almost there. We're starting to see or bearing fruits for the same. One of the things that I'm seeing today, we have a new crop of kids coming up at Mato, as the other ones are being faced off. We need renewed strength, renewed vigor or vision over the same, sticking to the dream, but with a different type of energy. Um, you know, starting over is not easy, but it's worthy. So, but we really want to, like, the next phase needs partnership, especially with churches, when it comes to college kids, connecting them with the right churches who can also see the seed in those kids and support them in their discipleship and help them be the Christs of our generation in the different capacities as lawyers, doctors, because I think that's living for God's glory is our agenda. Yeah.
Wow. Well said. That's really, really good. What are some of the greatest challenges that are facing children and families today? And how can communities, which you have touched a little bit, churches and individuals help address these issues?
Some of the challenges, one I'd say, the society not understanding children homes. Yes, there are people who do things for self gain, but there are those few or many who are doing it genuinely. And people don't care at times when it comes to children living in institutions because they feel those people have money. But I would tell you, running a children's home is not easy. I can't even say I can that yeah, after I finish or I leave Matter, I will start one. No, it's tough. It's when you are doing it genuinely, it's not easy. It's a big price. So there's biasness. Even schools, some schools want to take advantage of. Yeah, they think you have money, and yet you don't have. Some of the challenges, some of them also is handling kids with trauma. Trauma is just a sickness. And by the time creating a balance between seeing them as normal children and trauma, children with trauma, is a bit hard, even for those workers or people who work with them. So it's a bit tough. It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. And because there are times when things just erupt. A kid can just wake up and call you names. Yeah, out of nowhere. Or just hate you. We call it projected anger. Because you're a father figure in his life and he has a pain for his father. So he projects his anger on you. And you feel
It's personal.
it's personal. Yeah, so it's a bit tough, but we thank God. Yeah.
Wow. If someone listening feels like they're just one person and can't make a difference, what would you say to encourage them?
God told Gideon, go in the little strength you have. When you want to do something, go in the little strength you have. You don't have to have enough. You don't have to have enough to help. You don't have to be very strong for you to lift. You can lift what you can to lift. You can say, I can lift 100 shillings. Someone can lift 100,000 and someone can lift 1,000,000. But to God, they're all lifts. So I would say, just like God told Gideon, go in the little strength you have, it will make a difference. In fact, God works with the little that we have, the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Yeah, that's enough. When thanksgiving is given, it multiplies. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah. Now, what keeps you hopeful after all these years of serving children and families?
mm. Uh, the fact that the next day might save a life. The next day, your words might change a destiny. There's this one kid, I think around November. When you work in a children's home, around November is very draining. You've worked the whole year, and then the kids have just come back from school. So hiyo energy hakuna. You don't have energy. And there's this one kid and decided, hey, me, I will do whatever I want. And I went and called him and told him, what do you want? I want us to go to the future with you. So what do you want for your future, your children, and your community? And he shared. And I asked him, do you feel if you continue like this today, will you reach that goal? And he broke down and started crying. He started crying and he said, thank you. And that's how he changed.
Wow.
So he became better. He became mature. And today he's in college. So knowing that even when you're tired or weary, knowing that you can make a difference in a child's life tomorrow, then you wake up, even in your weakness.
Man, thank you, Uncle Humphrey. I like calling him Uncle Humphrey because, hanging out with the kids, they're always calling him Uncle Humphrey, so
That's my favorite name. Your favorite name.
yeah, thank you so much for coming. And viewers, I hope you've been inspired. And if you've been inspired, please do share, like, subscribe. And maybe this story will touch somebody. Maybe this story will inspire an individual to make a difference in their surrounding. Hey, if you have any questions, please reach to us through the social media handles. And even if you want to hear more about Mato, we'll make sure we put the details, the website, so that you guys can see the wonderful ministry that's happening here in Kenya. Thank you so much. Until next time, God bless you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Each One Reach One podcast. Go into your day knowing that your life, your words, your action can spark purpose, bring hope, and inspire change. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to hear more stories.